Hello everyone, welcome to our next episode of the Hilltop. I have the pleasure of being joined today by PE teacher and coach here at Chaminade for a long time, Joe Morgan, better known as Coach Mo. So Mo, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
I got a bone to pick right off the bat here. I got to take us back to 1991. It's maybe the first week in November. Uncharacteristic ice storm, snowstorm, first week in November. District soccer championship.
Yeah.
I'm huddled on the sideline because I'm not good enough to play, bundled up nice and warm.
But you were on the squad.
I was on the squad, but not good enough to be on the field. And your Rosary Rebels head coach, Joe Morgan, wins the district championship, defeats my Aquinas Mercy Falcons, and then goes on to win the state championship. Any recollections of that night?
No, I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that night? Are you serious?
No, I remember that very well.
I was going to say, that crazy weather especially.
Oh, yeah.
I know you coach a lot of soccer games, but that was some crazy weather.
No, that is, I'll never forget that one. That was something. So it started that day, and our AD called me and said, well, I don't know if you remember Tuck Boston or not, but Tuck was, well, Joe, you want to play this game tonight? And I was like, yeah, I want to play Tuck. I don't think they want to play, but we want to play. So Tuck did his best to get the field ready because it was not in great shape because the weather was terrible. No, and Tuck was out. I got to give him credit. I mean, from our side of it anyway, that he got the field relatively playable.
Sure.
And then I got up there as quick as I could after school, and I started helping him. And we got. I mean, it was not great, but it was manageable, and we got the game in, and we were fortunate enough to win, and went on to win state that year. And Aquinas and Rosary. Probably, I mean, back then there was a lot. Hazelwood Central was a great squad, and McClure North was still good, and you could go on and on about the North County soccer. Hazelwood East was still good at that time. So, but Aquinas and Rosary was special, very special. I found that out in a hurry when I got up to Rosary. So we played the game, and.
I think the first goal was our goalie was out and slipped or something and fell.
I'm sure someone slipped.
Yeah, there was plenty of slipping, but I think he got that, if I remember. My memory's a little foggy.
I don't remember the final.
I don't remember the final.
It was either 1-0 or 2-1.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. I don't think it was 2-0. It was either 1-0 or 2-1. I don't remember all the goals. I just remember.
Yeah, I just remember that first goal vaguely. This memory of our goalie sort of coming out too far and then trying to get back and falling and slipping and whatever. So.
And we both had really good teams that year.
Yeah.
You guys were younger. You had that real young group with Kalish and
Phila and
Ashley and all those guys that were just a super group. And I knew that. Man, that
was your year.
We got to win this year. Although we were relatively young too, we didn't have a lot of seniors. Sure. And then, so we won. Went on to win state. We beat Deshaun in the state final. We had a good team. Won 2-0 in the state final. And then the next year, I thought we could win again because but you guys were really good and. But like I said, we had a lot.
Good core seniors.
Yeah,
a lot of guys I grew up playing soccer with have gone to Rosary. My class, the 1993 class, which would have been 1992. The Bus Twins.
The buses and
Donnie Valenti. Donnie Valenti. Sorry.
Donnie Valenti and Danny Damatini.
Yep.
All those guys. So I thought we could win again, and you guys beat us that year, and I thought, well, you guys will be on a run.
Whoever gets out of the district.
And then
not a guarantee.
And after that, I think you had a three-peat or something.
Well, enough personal stuff. Maybe our audience isn't so much interested in the
sure they are.
Joe Morgan, Rob Grumich, personal soccer history, but some fun days. But let's start back at the very beginning for you. I kind of like to go in chronological order a little bit. Tell us about early days for Joe Morgan. You grew up here in St. Louis. Kind of what was family like? What were you into at a young age?
Born and raised in Dogtown, so South Side. But more familiar with people who know Dogtown.
Sure.
But we did everything. We did all the sports. I had one sister. My mom and dad. My dad grew up in Dogtown. My mom didn't. But we went to St. James the Greater in Dogtown. Very Irish Irish dominant neighborhood, and hosted the big St. Patty's Day parade and everything. Sure. Huge deal. But we played all sports. I mean, we played everything. We were outside all the time. We played basketball. We played soccer. We played baseball, and actually, baseball was my favorite sport till about high school. And then I really started gravitating towards soccer when I figured out I couldn't hit a curveball, and guys were throwing about 90 miles an hour. So, but soccer took over. But we had my childhood, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Awesome. It was like a fun place.
I still hang out. My best friends are still the guys I grew up with. Awesome. Still went to grade school. I went to grade school with them. Same, we grew up on the same street, or 2 streets over or something. Went to high school together. Not all of them went to high school with me, but if they didn't go to my high school, they went to close high school.
And where did you go to school?
Southwest High School.
Oh, you were at Southwest.
I was at Southwest High School. Yeah.
And you played soccer there?
Yeah.
How was the Southwest squad in the day?
We were good. We were, for public school back then, on the south side, it was us and Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And then there were all the great powerhouses. There was St. Mary's and SLU and CBC and all, and we were just like my senior year. We were very good, but we lost to SLU 1-0. We lost to CBC 1-0. We lost to St. Mary's 1-0. So we weren't quite good enough to get over the hump, and we lost CBC twice 1-0, and one of them was the district final. The last one was a district final, so that was my last high school game. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then did you play into college or what?
Yeah. I went to Forest Park my first year of college, and we had a good team. We had a real good team, actually. We came out of nowhere and beat powerhouses Merrimack and Flo Valley. And we had people. We had business beating them, but no one knew who we were. We weren't expected to beat them. Yeah, and we climbed up, believe it or not, to number 2 in the nation, Forest Park, which would back then that was like who the hell are they?
Who was coaching Forest Park then?
That was Gary Runsing.
Oh, okay.
For a legend, legend, one of my favorites, and Bob Bresnahan. Oh, Bob was the head coach, and Gary helped him. And Gary was still playing for the Stars at the time, and he did. I mean, he was fit like you wouldn't believe, and he did everything with us, everything. And we trained hard, and I was never in better shape in my life. But that was a great season. Great season.
And what position do you play?
Goalkeeper.
You were You were all time goalkeeper.
Yeah. Always a goalkeeper.
Why goalkeeping?
Well, I switched from goalkeeping once I got into high school, because I was pretty good. I could run, and I scored a lot of goals in grade school. But I was like baseball. I was starting to figure it out. Guys were catching up with me, and I liked playing goal, and I don't know. I just gravitated toward it, and found out this is pretty cool. So I stuck with it.
Awesome. Good for you. Yeah. What's next sort of steps after college for you?
Well, that was just 1 year. And
that was that first year?
Yeah, that was the first year. And then I went to McHenry, which is McHenry University now. Back then it was McHenry College, and played 3 years over there, and had a real good time over there playing soccer. Still some of my real good buddies, that I hang out with, college buddies from McHenry, and we weren't great, but we had a good team. We had a solid team, but had a good time.
Certainly a guy who's played a lot of soccer, a lot in St. Louis, obviously, and been around the game. What makes, people talk about St. Louis soccer capital, St. Louis is, what makes that tradition? Why is it so strong here in St. Louis, do you think? Why do we have that reputation?
I just think when you get together with, you can say North Side or you can say South Side or whatever you want to say, but whoever you're playing with, there just becomes a special bond. I found that out in high school. I found that out I played for Cudis during high school, my junior team, and I found that out. And I don't know if it's like that everywhere else, but you really bond with the guys you're playing with, and become close, and that carries over onto the field. I think how you stick up for each other, and it's just special here. Very, very special.
So was teaching, coaching something you always kind of envisioned yourself getting into down the road, or what were your plans when you were studying and in college? And
actually, when I was,
did you have a long range plan?
When I was in, I was at McHenry. Our coach was my advisor, so he let me design my own major, which, you know,
which is what, or what was?
Which is my major, and so it was called Human Services, which is a lot of psychology and a lot of sociology and some of this and some of that, and I got through it, and it wasn't until after I got out and I started working for a special school district as a teacher's assistant.
Oh, that's where you started.
That's when I really thought, I like this, because we were working with some kids from really bad backgrounds, not good family lives, and up in Pine Lawn is where we were stationed, and I worked there for 2 years. And I really started liking that, and, you know, like the kids and the people I was working with, and I thought, you know what, this could be something I want to do.
That's tough work. So if that kind of work gets you excited about it, that says something.
Yeah, man, it was, and, you know, like our staff, no one was over 30. I mean, because if you made it to 30 in that building, man, and you weren't burnt out yet, you know what I mean? So it was good. It was good. And then after that, I thought, well, you know, I want to teach. So I went back to Harris Stowe, and that took 2 more years to get my teaching certificate, or 3 semesters of school and 1 semester of student teaching, and then I started teaching.
Very good.
Yeah, so there's a lot of school.
I don't know if everybody thinks Mo's going to be that long at school. You're going beyond, right?
I don't know how good I was at it, but I was there a long time.
I love it, and you've never left. Many years later, you never left school. So school is where you belong for sure.
Yeah.
So what were your first teaching jobs, or first beyond that, once you got your degree?
Yeah. So I started at the grade school that
you were back at St. James.
Yeah, I was
right?
back at St. James.
Gotcha.
At 2 days a week as a PE teacher, and then St. Andrew, which is down in Lemay, 3 days a week. So I was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at St. Andrew, and Tuesday, Friday at St. James. So I was all over the place, and I was driving up to Rosary.
Yeah, that's when you started coaching.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into the coaching side of things?
Well,
just from your connections?
Yeah, connections. It was who turned me on to I don't know if you remember Ed Bauer.
Oh yeah, I know the name. I don't remember him well,
and Johnny Mormon was coaching.
Right.
Johnny Mormon was coaching Rosary at the head coach at Rosary at the time, and I knew Johnny a little bit from playing club soccer. We played together a little bit, and Ed Bauer. I don't know what I forget what my relationship with Ed was, but he said, hey, you know what? Why don't you? We need a B team coach. Why don't you?
You started there.
Yeah. So I started under Johnny Mormon, and we had great success. You know, we won state in '85 and '87, and then Johnny left in '88, and then I took over.
And then how long were you there?
I was there from '85 to when I got here at 96. In 96, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So were you at St. James all that time?
St. James and St. Andrew that whole time, yeah. And then I was also coaching at Ursuline, so I was at 4 different schools.
Town. Yeah. And not even necessarily close to each other.
No, I was
You're in the city, coming out west, going to Kirkwood, going north.
Going to North County, going to Kirkwood,
miles on the car.
Dogtown, Lemay, I was all over.
All over the place. Well, and that you sort of already made the transition for me then. There's kind of what brought you to Chaminade. Was it just the job opportunity? Was it people here that...
Yeah.
How'd you end up in this place?
I mean, I loved it, teaching elementary. It was K through 8. But, you know, I was like, man, I wanted to do something other than tie shoes and blow noses and get out of that real younger age. Not. I mean, I had a great time. St. James and St. Andrew were very good to me, and the opportunity came here, and Mike Vader let me. Vader, as everyone knows, Vader. He let me know about this PE job opening, and actually, I applied for it, interviewed for it, didn't get it.
Oh, really?
Did not get it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
And then, so what's the backstory? How did you end up here?
Yeah. So.
Give us the background.
So this was I guess this was over the summer, and the school year started, and Coach calls me and he says, "Hey, hang on, this I don't want to mention any names or anything, but this guy might not work out."
Oh.
Yeah. And so I said, "All right, hey, I'll do whatever it takes. I'd love to come to Chaminade. I would love to get there." So, he called me. He updated me about every week, and he said, "I think they're going to call you in again."
Right.
And yeah, that guy he ended up leaving, or being asked to leave, and they called me in when we did a second interview, and Gerks and Mike
He was the
Bander.
principal then?
Yeah, Gerks and Mike
Bander.
Bander and Dr. Krailman, they hired me, and Gerks hired me. He was the head guy, but yeah, and that's the way it worked out.
I'm glad it worked out.
I know, man, because it didn't work out at first, and I thought, oh no.
And was this just a few months? Was it relatively short? This guy was it still that fall? Or
Yeah, I got here. Back then it was quarters, so I started the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah,
yeah. So right at Halloween, 1st of November, end of October, I started, and that was, yeah.
Very good. So you said you obviously knew Vader, just from soccer history.
Yeah.
How far do you go back with him?
Way back, way back.
Did you guys play together, or?
We didn't play together. He's 6 years younger than I am, so we really didn't play together. I got an indoor team together one time, and he was on the team, but nothing serious growing up or anything. I was at an older age group, but we knew each other from the blues hockey and soccer, the soccer world. Sure. Yeah. So we were good buddies.
Yeah. Anybody else here on campus at that time that you already knew? Or was it kind of a new environment for you overall?
Did I know? I don't. Colin Novak? Yeah, I knew Colin. I'm drawing a blank.
And so what was it, so what were some of those early days like for you coming over from elementary school? Obviously, in the middle school, you're still teaching some of the same ages, but not having that. So what was it like coming to, and a bigger place, and, that sort of thing?
It was better and more than I thought it would be.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because when I was at the grade schools, I was always everyone else's free time.
Right.
And I worked straight through from like 7:30 to 3:30 without a sniff. Right. I didn't know what a free period was.
Not time to go to the bathroom.
I had never heard of it. I had to wait till lunchtime, which was maybe a half an hour to do anything that I needed to do personally or whatever. And then I came here and they said, "Well, you've got a free period." Like, what's that?
Right. Good for you.
No, but not just that, but it was, I mean, the whole environment was so cool, and, teaching guys and all the sports and everything, it was just a great environment.
Now, you've been with 7th grade as long as I've been here. Is that what you've done the whole time?
I started that first year with 8th grade. Yeah, I started with 8th grade and then moved to 7th grade, I think 2 years later. So I did 8th grade a couple years.
So pretty much.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years, and then I moved to 7th grade. And then one other thing I did was teach life saving. KB wanted to back off a little bit, and so I got certified to teach life saving, and I did that for 2 or 3 years.
And so this was 96, you said you came, right? So this is 29 years, I think, is that right?
Yeah, 29 years.
Yeah,
almost 30 years.
Oh, very good. Very good. So that's a long time. What do you like about those middle schoolers? How have they changed? Is the middle schooler from the 7th grader from 8th grader from 1996?
No, I don't think
the same kid.
Yeah, I don't think
technology is different.
Yeah,
all that.
I've changed. I've gotten a little more crabby, I think. But I don't think they've changed at all.
I don't know if people think of you as crabby. I guess you can be. I've never had you in PE class, but
no,
it seems like the boys love you, right?
Yeah.
You have a great relationship with them.
Yeah.
That's your favorite part, I assume.
Oh yeah, building relationships and in the classroom with the kids, with middle school kids, and on the soccer field. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Any crazy stories that you recollect or stand out from 7th grade PE, or funny stories or anything that's not that we have to call out people or anything?
No. So you're
a good storyteller.
Yeah. So one day, so the band kids were marching in, and I mean, this probably wasn't funny at the time, but it is now, or a lot of people think it's funny.
Right.
All my cohorts think it's funny. But the band kids were marching in, and there's about 20 of them, and they're marching into
the stadium?
Into the pool.
Oh, in the pool.
Into the pool. Yeah, they're marching into the pool. And, silly me, I thought, well, I'm going to push this kid in the water, and he'll be, So I pushed him in. Well, I picked the only kid out of about 25 kids that couldn't swim. So he looked up at me like.
Does he have a tuba in his hand or something too? No.
No. He was in. They were in there. They were ready to get in the water.
Oh, okay. They were ready to get.
Yeah. Gotcha. They had their swimsuit on, but.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he and I thought, oh man, he was starting to go down. So I jumped in with all my clothes on and got him out in a hurry. That's. All my buddies think that Vader thinks that's funny.
Yeah, I do too. The one guy, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't know those guys well enough yet, right?
No. I think that was probably the first time they were coming in the water.
Welcome to PE.
Welcome to 7th grade.
Nobody else but you, Mo. I like it. So what? Tell us a little bit more about your coaching. Have you been assistant soccer coach from the top here, from 96 when you came over, or 96, 97?
Yeah.
You've been coaching with Vader? Because he was already the coach, right? Then?
Oh, yeah. First year, Ferd was with us. Mm-hmm. Fernandez was with us, and then he got out. He left and went to St. Mary's. And then Gertz coached with us for Gertz coached with us for 2 or 3 years, and then Gertz left, and then Timmy came on, and it's been 3 of us.
Sartori, just to
Sartori.
clarify.
Sartori. Yeah. T-Sar.
Yeah.
T-Sar. So. It's been the 3 of us for a long time.
So who are what are some of the great memories? We've had very successful teams over your tenure here, and Vader's tenure over here, including some national championships and state championships. What are some of those moments that stand out to you, or some of those players that stand out to you?
Oh, so many good memories with soccer. It's 01. You don't beat that because we're national champs. Right. Even though it's mythical, it's voted on, but still, I think we deserved it. What
was special? I mean, obviously talent on that team, but like, what else was special about that group of players?
They were characters too. I mean, they were. You take guys like.
Who are some of those names?
Mo Benny, Alex Madison, Matt Budenholzer. I can go on and on and on, but there were some characters on that team, so it was a lot of fun. Practices were intense because they were so competitive, which made it a ton of fun. The 02 team, which is going into the Hall of Fame next Saturday, week from Saturday.
Yeah, because we have back-to-back then, right? Back-to-back state championships?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the 02 team's going in. The 01 team's already in the Hall of Fame, and the 02 team's going in this year. And then we were going for a three-peat in 03, We made it back to the final with another great core.
All the way back to the final.
Yeah, all the way back to the final, and we lost to SLU in the final. And they deserved to win. They were a better team. But 01 and 02 were really special. And then we came back and built a little bit, and it took a couple years. And then 06 we won again. Mm-hmm. So with Kevin Stoll is the assistant men's coach down at SLU now, and Michael Roach and Ramsey, and just a bunch of guys, bunch of really talented guys.
You've had some guys in the MLS or still in the MLS. I'm blanking on the guy's name, the goalie.
Joey Willis.
Joe Willis.
Joe Willis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your guys as a goallie.
Yeah.
That's
my dude.
What makes him stand out, or what makes him successful?
As far coming from me, I think Joe was a late bloomer because he's 30. He's either 36 or 37 now, and he just got a shutout Saturday.
To his prime, or at least into his publicity, I guess.
Yeah.
He's reaching the top of his game.
I know he's taking it year by year, but he is at top form. Top form. I mean, just a shutout the other night. He's at the top of the list of league shutouts. Not the very top, but he's up in the, I'd say, top 5 of league shutouts. He's had a great career. I'm so proud of him. We go down and my girlfriend and I go down and see him. We try to get down there at least once a year to Nashville to see him play. We're going to go down this May to see him play. I just love his mom and dad sit right in front of us down at the city games. So Joey.
Now, is he somebody in high school who you could have maybe predicted that, or is he that much of a late bloomer that he was a good goalie in high school, but you didn't necessarily think that?
Yeah. No, yeah, and then he went to Denver, went to Denver DU, and had a real good career there, and got drafted. I think, he went to Houston, and then and before Nashville. So I think Houston was his first. So he and Brad were at Houston together. But he, to me, it was a late bloomer, and just got better and better, and he just keeps getting better. Because he keeps getting, he's smart, really smart.
That's certainly a smart position. That's why you were always a goalie, right? Smartest guy on the field, right? Yeah. That's why we put this guy right here in goal. Well, you mentioned Brad. What was it like having him here and coaching under him? And was he a standout talent from the top? From day one on campus?
Yeah, Brad, since he was probably 8 years old. He wasn't a late bloomer. No, Brad was special.
And what makes him special on the field, or when he was
just
on the field?
Intelligence,
talent, technique,
technical ability at a young age was some of the best I'd ever seen. Yeah. And then the guys on that team, Danny Hilson, Kevin Thibodeau, Justin Lagrada was our goalkeeper, good goalkeeper. So we had a real good squad. Unfortunately, we lost in the was it their sophomore or junior year? We lost in the state final to Rockhurst, and then didn't get back to the final. And which was a shame because that group was really good. Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time, obviously, rightfully talking about soccer coaching. What else? Share with our audience a little bit.
Let me mention one more guy. Tommy Barlow's in the league.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Tommy's.
Forget him.
Yeah. So Tommy's special too. Played 3 years for us, and then he didn't play his senior year for us, but great guy, great family.
For sure.
Yeah, and still in the league.
Yeah, awesome. So what else have you coached in your time here? I know you're coaching tennis right now too. When I stopped coaching the girls at Ursuline, I had a long tenure at Ursuline, about 20 years, and then I stopped coaching over there. Stopped coaching the girls over Ursuline, and I really wasn't doing anything in the spring. And Ferd asked me if I wanted to coach water polo. Like, well, yeah, I can be there, Not a water polo expert,
because I'm not doing anything in the spring, and I wanted to be active at school, so I did some water polo for a couple years. They brought in a guy that knew the game. I was a warm body, right. Let's admit it, So I was a warm body, but I was the school rep. He was from off campus. I don't think he was certified a teacher or anything, but I was, so it was all good. And so did that for 2 or 3 years until they found someone that was, could come in and do it. I think whoever it was on campus. And then stopped doing that and then started doing tennis and been doing tennis for a long time. Yeah, and I've actually was a warm body when I started, but learned the game pretty good now. Tennis is a great game.
Yeah, how's your tennis game?
It's not great, but
you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing now.
So I did want to ask you about coaching the girls' side, and you were at Ursuline for a long time.
Yeah.
What's the difference in coaching girls' soccer or coaching boys' soccer? Obviously personalities and stuff, but is there much difference in terms of the actual coaching, you think?
Not technically, no. I would say no. I was real lucky over at Ursuline to have some talented groups. Like in 04, we made it to the state final. Unfortunately, we lost to Incarnate 2-1 in the final. But maybe the games. And back then, anyway, it might not even be because I don't watch that much girls. I mean, I watch the higher level, but I don't get out and watch the high school as much anymore, but I probably will this year because Mike's taking over at Summit. But maybe back then it was a little slower, but not a great amount slower. But technically, we worked on the same stuff, and what we did over here, I took over there and had some really good players, had some D1 players, players of the year, Gatorade player of the year, so all good. Yeah, I had a great run over there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what does Coach Mo, I know some things, but certainly share with the audience, what does Coach Mo like to do outside of school? What are your passions? You got your Grateful Dead hat on now?
Yeah, I love music. I love music. And I love live music. We go to a lot of shows.
Where's your favorite place in town or your favorite venue?
Let's see. That's a tough one.
Or a couple.
The Atomic, which used to be known as the Atomic Cowboy, which is in the Grove. I love that place. The outdoor venue there is awesome. Even inside is pretty cool. The pageant's cool. I love the size of the pageant, and I'd say if I had to pick one, I'd say the Atomic in the summertime. Right. That outside venue.
Nice weather.
Yeah, you can't beat it. So
what are some of your bands? What's your favorite kind of music?
I like the jammy stuff. I love the great. They're tops. They're number one. And Allman Brothers I grew up with, and but I love a lot of the new stuff. A lot of the new stuff is just so cool. I don't know. There's a lot of bands I could name, but I don't want to bore people. But right. Yeah, it's
any dream concert? Anybody you haven't seen that you wished you could have, or maybe that was just before your time?
I wish I would have seen Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah. I really wish I would have seen Johnny Cash, but that didn't happen. But that would have been cool. I've been to Red Rocks, and that's spiritual. Mm-hmm. I mean, that place is something. We saw Tedeschi Trucks Band at Red Rocks, and we were going to go back again this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But Red Rocks is, I mean, to go out of town to a venue, if people haven't been to Red Rocks, it's an experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So all music, anything else?
Yeah, I like to play bad golf.
Bad golf?
Yeah. Once I retire, I'm going to try and get a little better here. But golf, I like golf. Yeah, and I love to fish. So I got plenty of stuff to do. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say about retirement. What's next on Coach Mo's radar? Life plans?
I don't know, man. It's like. I'm going to work at the pool again this summer. I've worked at a pool.
Yeah, so tell us about it in case the audience doesn't know or what where you've been working and what you've been doing.
Forest Hills Country Club, been there a long time, and KB got me on there, and he's a legend there. He practically started that place, the pool, and was swim coach and managed the pool, and he got me on about at least 15 years ago.
And you're managing the pool? That's what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, I'm like assistant manager. Yeah, I let the other guy do the scheduling.
That's the one thing.
Yeah. So, yeah. And
but you're there all day, every day in the summer?
Well, I used to be, but I've cut back. And the guy that does the scheduling, who's my boss, he's the head manager. He's real good about letting me take off when I want to. And I got a concert this night, Sean. And you go for it.
Good.
So yeah.
Good. So you're gonna still do that?
Yeah, still gonna work at the pool,
So
and I'm gonna coach
keep you full time.
Yeah, I'm gonna coach soccer next fall.
Oh, you are gonna be back for that?
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. And then I think I don't think retirement's gonna hit me until soccer's over next fall, and then I'll wake up when soccer's over and say, no, okay, what are we doing now? And then we'll figure it out.
Very good.
Yeah, because I haven't looked really long range past that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned girlfriend a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your family and your background there and such.
Well, my family is like I said, I got one sister. I've got 3 kids and 2 grandkids, and my girlfriend's, she's from not from St. Louis, but she's got 4 grandkids. So we're pretty busy with
grandchild life.
Yeah, which is
how old are they? How
awesome.
old are you?
Mine are 8, and Gracie just turned 6, so 8 and 6. Yeah, and they live out in Washington.
Oh, okay.
Washmo. So yeah, a lot of fun. Get out there.
Away, but not too far.
No,
away.
not too perfect.
Exactly.
Just perfect.
You're not they're not dumping on you on a random.
Actually, they're coming in town this weekend. Kelly and Corey have a wedding downtown, so they're going to drop them off and they'll spend the night with us. And yeah.
And what do your kids do? What are they up to?
Emily actually works for Vader out of Twigs.
Oh, he does. She does.
Emily does. Yeah, she's a baby, and then Joey's down in Springfield, and Mo and Kelly, like I said, works in Washington, and her husband's Corey's a dentist out in Washington. So Kelly stays home and then manages the office a little bit for Corey. Gotcha. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I think is there stuff we left out? I don't know. I'm sure there's other topics we can talk about.
I'm sure there is.
Any crazy stories or any?
No, I mean just a couple people I want to mention here.
Sure.
If that's okay.
Of course.
Yeah, like
your open mic.
KB.
Yeah.
People know KB, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean Kevin Brennan.
Yeah, we did kind of skip over that a little bit. Yeah, talk to us about some of these sort of, I don't know, Chaminade legends, I call them, or we call them that. Some of those folks that were here when you got here that kind of indoctrinated you into. Yeah. Now you're a Chaminade legend yourself.
Yeah.
Who helped you become that, and how did they do that?
Showed me the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Brennan. He was part of the hiring process that got me on here. He was because he was head of the PE department. I got a lot of thanks to him, and I've worked with him all summer too. So he's been my boss. He was my boss. Yeah. He was my boss for like 12 months.
All different ways.
Yeah. And then actually on the soccer side, Timmy and Vader. Vader's been here for over 35 years. Over 35 years, I think. But. Couple gals in the office when I started, Judy and Kathy. Mm-hmm. Judy Cunningham and Kathy Bliss were and are great friends. Great, how secretaries are. They run the school.
Amen.
Yeah,
those 2 names have come up in maybe not every interview, but so many of our interviews when we talk to people.
Such good people, Kathy and Judy. I mean, it's like one person, Kathy and Judy, Judy and Kathy.
Yeah, I was lucky. Their last few years was my first few years here, so I was lucky to kind of.
You got to meet them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You're lucky. You're lucky because they're saints. They were saints. Gerks, Mike Bander, guys that are here now. Doug Taylor, and then guys that are here now that I work with are really special. Mike Durkitz and Dave McCoy. The 3 of us are 3 amigos in middle school PE, and then you got Antoine and Nick and Bobby and Thorny in the high school. So the PE department, we're pretty tight. Yeah. It's a good group.
Yeah, but we're losing a little bit with losing you, Lan Thorny, in the same year.
Yeah.
A new wave, some new blood coming in.
New blood coming in.
I guess could be good, but also makes us sad at the same time.
Yeah, so. Thanks. Yeah.
So I usually wrap up by asking everybody kind of what our school motto, Estovir, what does that mean to you? What does that phrase, be a man? And after 29 years here at Chaminade, what does that phrase mean to you?
Well, I've thought about this a little bit because I think Estovir, it means, to me, it's a lifelong process. You're not, when you're a sixth grader, you're not the same person you are when you're 50 years old. So, to me, it's like when you're a sixth grader, a seventh grader, it's treating your classmates well. When you're a teammate, it's being when you're on a soccer field, it's being a good teammate. When you get married, it's being a good husband, being a good father. It's just, to me, it's pretty simple. It's how you treat people and just treating people kind, and that's what Jerry Garcia says. Are you kind? So
there you go.
Yeah.
No, that's the truth, and I think people would certainly describe you. I know I would, as one of the kindest guys here, right? One of the friendliest guys. I think that's why the boys love you so much, right? You're a friend. You're a happy guy. You're kind to them and treat them with respect. Thanks for all you've done, and thanks for being my colleague for these 13 years. And I'm glad you're sticking around at least for soccer and beyond.
Yeah,
we're
definitely.
not going to quite get rid of you completely yet.
Definitely.
So, great. Well, thanks for being here, and thank you in the audience for listening to another episode of The Hilltop.